Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the Los Angeles Sex Therapy Team video interview series founded by Moushumi Ghose, marriage family therapist. In this series, we're getting to know the therapists and coaches who make up this team on a more personal level, hearing their stories, learning about their approaches, and getting a feel for the people behind this work. I'm your host, Jamie Azar, sex, relationship, and intimacy coach at Last and founder of Erotic Expressions. And I'm so excited to introduce you today to one of our favorite coaches here at Last, Mr. Wayne LeSane, who will be sharing insights into his philosophy and the way he uniquely supports his clients. So Wayne, thanks so much for being here today. We're excited to learn more about your work.
Yes, no, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm excited to be here as well.
Amazing. Amazing. So we want to know right off the bat, what inspired you to become a sex coach?
Okay, so what inspired me to become a sex coach? I would say just growing up myself with a lot of shame, guilt, misunderstanding, also wanting to just help people in kind of reframe or change their perspective on what sex actually is and what it looks like and how the many different ways we can approach sex, right? Sex is, when we think of sex, we think of, oh man, sex, penetrative sex, but sex is so much more than that. I tell people that you exude sex every day when you walk around, the way you look at people, the way you dress, the way you talk to people, the way you flirt, all the things, it's all sex, right? It's all sexy, so it's just understanding like what it is and just really being able to feel comfortable with the idea of, in the word sex. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Sounds like education, having those conversations, normalizing the topic of sex for you is important, and empowering people in their own sex and sexuality and identities.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. What would you say, Wayne, is your unique approach to working with clients?
I heard this a while back, and I remember hearing it a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that is definitely how I approach things. I feel like I'm process oriented when I'm working with my clients. Like, the more information you give me, the more I'm able to understand what it is, and I can kind of see it and I feel it. Like it's more intuitive than anything. Like because I always say that there's not much I haven't seen or done just because of my own life and my own relationships, and like I've been non-monogamous now for 25 plus years, and so there's not a lot I haven't seen or don't understand. And I understand how we get to a lot of places. So when I start to hear you speak, I can already put it to like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of see what that is. And so it's more, yeah, just allowing the process to happen. I don't come in with an agenda. A lot of times I don't come in with this, hey, so we're gonna do it this way, and we'll work towards, we'll take. Let me slow down. We'll do all of that, but it'll take time to get there. And how we get there is by me getting to know you and just really unpacking a lot of the things that are happening or been happening within you that helps me and helps you, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sounds like your unique approach is very personal, personalized, intuitive, collaborative. You like to take it slow with your clients and really get to know them, and in addition to that, your own experience being non-monogamous for over 25 years, you said, as informing your work as well.
Yes. And I always tell people, like, I love to disclose about myself around a lot of things. I tell everybody, like been married for this long. We have kids together. Our kids know about us. Our family knows about us. Like we've been on many different panels. We've spoken to people. We've been on podcasts, radio shows. And so, like, I'm not only helping you work through things, but I'm living the thing that I'm actually talking about in my everyday life. I have kids who are from 32 to 4 months, so and the kids are well aware and it is so amazing, my kids. But yes. And so anybody who is around, so I understand that we have a privilege to be able to be out in the forefront and speaking about these things because, Melissa's also a therapist herself, and so we've been speaking about this for years. We've helped people during COVID, we've helped people after COVID, and so, what Melissa always says about me, she says that I want to see that Wayne, you want to see everybody win. And that is so true. I want everybody to be in a successful relationship, in the relationship they're wanting to be in and choosing. It doesn't have to be non-monogamous, it can be monogamous. what I would do is I would use the non-monogamous framework to help you within your monogamous relationship, just to open things up and to help your communication become so much more better and so much more in depth. And I always tell people that through this work that we do, your connection will become just that much more deeper. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Thanks for sharing. It sounds like the alignment between not only the work you do, but also the life you live, and bringing in that framework around non-monogamy, whether you're working with monogamous folks, which you do, right, and
Yes.
non-monogamous folks,
Yes.
to help kind of deconstruct and dismantle some of those narratives, like you were talking about earlier, around sex and sexuality and relationships. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm curious for you on that topic, what's one misconception about sex coaching you'd like to clear up?
Yes, that right. People think when they come in, you know, that I'm working with people all around sex. Like, oh man, so I'm trying to help people have better sex. I'm trying to help people have more sex. I'm trying to have people have connected sex. And I'm like, that's part of it. But usually when people come in, they think it's about sex, but it's so much deeper than that. It's a lot of times it has to do with a lot of emotional blockage. It has to do with a lot of other things that's going on that's not even thought about, right? That once we start talking, we'll start to see that it's not. Yeah, granted, we're not having sex, but why aren't we having sex? Why aren't we having the connected sex that we once had? Why aren't we having the amount of sex that we once had? And so once we start to work through that and kind of figure things out, we can get back to the sex, but we're going to have to unpack some things first.
So sex coaching, sex therapy, it's not all about sex, ironically.
Yes.
Even
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. What's something, Wayne, you love about your work? You mentioned, you know, you are really fully aligned in not only the work you do, but the life you lead. But what else do you love about your work?
I love when I see people, when I work with clients, and I give them this perspective or show them a way that maybe they didn't see, and they just be like, oh wow, like I never thought of it like that. Like just the idea that things don't have to be so one way, because you know we all say this, everything is so hetero-centered, so couple-centered, and so it doesn't really leave for a lot of room for other things, right? All the nuances that we understand, you know, that you work with your clients around. And so once you're able to kind of show those nuances that exist and show that things aren't just one way, and that there's so much more broader, and it's like the possibilities are endless. Like we can create whatever relationship you want. Like it's like a la carte almost, right? Like you know, the relationship smorgasbord, right? You know, we know these things and we can present these things, and when you show them to your clients, they're like, oh wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. I never heard of that. I didn't even know that there was so many possibilities because I've only known this. And so I love opening people up to new ideas, new perspectives, new thought processes, new ways of seeing things, you know. And so and it's so helpful for them, and I see it because it changes. It's like this light goes off in their head, like, oh my God, like thank you for that. That's so helpful. It makes so much sense. I was like, yeah, it's not, these aren't huge concepts. They're so simple, right? But it's just like having it broken down to you in a way that you've never heard it before. It's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yeah.
So giving people the knowledge, the education, the tools and the skills to get as creative as they want in their relationships and see the possibilities that exist beyond monogamy, beyond heteronormativity, and beyond all of the cultural and social conditioning, right, that we've been taught. So there isn't one right way when it comes to relationships and sex. And you help people through that and to see the possibilities.
Yeah. One size does not fit all, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Wayne, what do you want clients to feel after a session with you?
I want them to feel seen and heard and understood. I want them to feel good about the direction that we're headed in. I want them to feel like wow, like yes, this is what I needed. This is where I needed to be, because this is going to help me so much. You know, I love when I hear my client when I hear my clients say to me, like, thank you so much, like this has been so helpful. We really appreciate the work that we've been doing with you, or I really appreciate the work I've been doing with you. Like you know, it's helped me not just in my relationship with my partner, but it's helped me in my relationship with my friends and family and so many other things, because it's not just about, because when you're doing this work, it's going to bleed over into your other relationships in life, right? It's not just about your partner, because if you're showing up this way within your relationship, it's most likely it's happening outside of that relationship as well. And it's kind of like, man, I'm like, for instance, if I'm not speaking up in my relationship, I'm probably not speaking up in the world, right? If I'm not creating boundaries in my relationship, I'm not creating boundaries out in the world. And so these things go hand in hand, and everything is connected. And I just kind of help people with those things. And so when they're able to see how, like, wow, like this has made me operate in such a healthier space that helps me to work. I mean, to be able to show up in so many places now and to feel more comfortable because I can take care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Like feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling a sense of belonging with you or with the tools or education you give them. And feeling empowered to explore those possibilities with you. I love that. That's amazing. I love it. So when it comes to you personally, what's one hobby, passion, fun fact that shapes who you are, Wayne?
Okay. So I love that. All right. So I totally forgot about this in recently in my own therapy. I've been reconnected with it. And I know a lot of times we talk about somatic work, right? So, somatic work, and I realized that, man, I was a dancer for the majority of my life. I love dance. I love dancing. Dancing is so intuitive, right? You just feel it in your body, and you're able to just flow, and you're able to feel it. And when I think about that, I can take that same concept into the work that I do, right? Because it's just like when you're dancing, you're totally embodied, right? You're in your body, right? You're breathing, you're moving, you're feeling, it's like all the things, and I love it, and so I would say that is one thing that I would tell anybody and everybody, like, man, find some type of activity that helps you be in your body, whatever that is. May it be running, going for walks, may it be some physical activity to help you just be present and just feel, and just feel yourself, like all your body. I tell everybody, like, your body tells you what it needs all the time. We just got to pay attention to it. And so, yes, I was a dancer at one point in life. Yeah, so that would be the thing that, you won't see it, you won't find any videos on it. But fun fact though, I actually helped to bring in a lot of hip hop into Korea, the Korean culture back in 1993. I was a big influence in dancing. I danced with the first Korean hip hop group. So yeah, I think that, I love dance.
I love that. I think it is a fun fact. I think you showed me a video of that once too at one of the retreats at Los Angeles Sex Therapy's Pleasure Site retreat. So yeah, I was like, I love that. I'm a huge fan of dance. So thanks for sharing it. I love that piece also is connected to the work you do, right? Integrating somatics and being present in the body. And I know you also offer some hands-on work as well. Is there anything you'd like to share around that if people are curious?
Yes, again, like I think that sometimes we may need some guidance around, just like talk therapy is amazing, first and foremost, right? Sometimes we may need more hands-on, and I offer that as well, because I think that sometimes we can't really visualize what it is that is being asked of us, so we can't. So what happens is we can't put it into a practical practice. But if someone is there to help guide you or show you, then you're more likely to be able to do it yourself, or just kind of like, what's the word looking for? Well, I'm gonna stick with do it yourself. Like, yes, imitate it. Yeah, you can kind of imitate it until you kind of get it yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, amazing. Thanks for sharing that too. Anything else you want to share to people who are listening and thinking about reaching out to work with you? What would you say to these folks?
Yeah, I would say, like I always tell people, like, please just come talk to me to see what it feels like for you and myself. Let me be able to show up for you and answer some questions. I think that, we, try to go through life, which is how I got into this work. We try to go through it, in trying to figure it out ourselves. And a lot of times it just doesn't work. Sometimes we need that guidance. We need that help, that extra push. And that's what I'm here for. Like, I am here to help you create the relationship that you want. Like we know that we see, actually, let me take it back. When we're in our relationships, we feel like, man, I wish I could say this, or I wish I could be honest about this, or I wish I could have this, or I wish I can do this. And I am here to help you get that in a healthy way. I'm here to help you talk to your partners in a healthy way. We're not trying to force anybody. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, manipulate. It's none of those things. It's really just sitting down and asking what we all want, because your partner wants things as well. And it's just kind of figuring out what that is and what that looks like, and how can we work together and both come together and get the things that we both want. Because if you're feeling something, more than likely your partner's feeling something. You know, and it just sometimes feels hella scary to talk about it, you know, so yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing, and thank you for the work you do around relational diversity and expression and sex and sexuality and communication when it comes to those difficult conversations, and empowering and helping so many folks out there. We're so happy to have had you today, Wayne, and learn more about your work. And thanks everyone for tuning in to the Los Angeles Sex Therapy Team video interview series. We can't wait to see you for the next one. Until next time.